So now that we have customized our website with our logo and theme, we can now go ahead and start making some edits to the content of our website. So in this video, we're going to create a blog post for our website and set the blog to our main homepage. So we're going to click on posts, and currently we have a few posts here in our posts tab. And on the front end of the website, let's take a look at what the blog currently looks like. So let's click on Yoga Blog. And currently this is what our blog looks like on our blog page. So we can see the hello world and the other 3 blog posts that we currently have. All right, so let's go back to the dashboard. So this is what the blog post looks like. As we can see, it's just some text that is showing. All right, so over here on the right tab, we can always make different changes to our post using the post and block tabs. We also have the ability to insert other elements into our blog post. Right, so we can click on the plus to add a block. And keep in mind, this is the Gutenberg block editor. So if we wanted to add an image block, we can click on image. And we want to insert one from our media library. And so I'm going to insert this picture of this guy running. And we can now add a caption to this image as well as select whether we want to show a large image or a smaller image. We can select if we want rounded edges or just the default. So I think I'm just going to leave it as default. And we can also preview what this will look like. So if we click on the preview button, it will take us, open this up in a new tab. And this is what the blog post will now look like with our picture that we've added. And we can set a featured image. So this is the image that we saw on the front of our blog post. So if we want to change this, I'll just select this image once again as our featured image. And let's open up the preview in a new tab. And we see that the featured image has changed. We can make some changes here to the slug, and the slug refers to the URL that this blog post will be found at. So here we see that the slug is actually New Year resolutions for 2020, so we could change that if we needed to. We can also add categories to our blog posts. So I'm just going to add a few categories here. I'm going to add jogging, cardio, and I'm going to remove it from the uncategorized. We can also add tags to our blog posts. So there's a difference between tags and categories. And the category is essentially the broader sense of the subject, and the tag is what the subject matter includes. If we want to display a certain excerpt from our blog that will show up on the blog page, then we can specify what that excerpt should be right in this excerpt section. And we can also set whether or not we want comments or discussion to be had under our blog. All right, so I'm going to save this, and let's go back and refresh it. And we see that the featured image has changed along with the categories for the blog post. So now that we have the general idea of how a blog post works, I'm just going to select all of these and send them to the trash. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new blog post from scratch so we can get an idea of how to create them. So these blogs aren't actually deleted, they're in the trash folder, and from here we can either choose to restore them or delete them permanently. For now, I'll just leave them in the trash folder. All right, so to create a new blog post, we click on the Add New option, and this will give us a blank canvas on which we can create our new post. So first thing, we have to give our blog post a title. And in this case, I'm going to call this blog post Strength Training. And every blog has different sections. They have an introduction. They have different headers inside the blog for the different topics. And then there is a conclusion. All right, so I'm going to put table of contents here just as a placeholder for the time being. We are going to use a widget to display the table of contents once we have added some content to our blog post. So I'm going to add some sections, and each section header should be an H1 or an H2 tab or an H2 tag. And I'm going to add 3 sections and a conclusion. All right, so to fill out the content on our blog post, I'm just going to grab some dummy text from the Lorem Ipsum site. So we're going to generate some Lorem Ipsum and use that text in our blog. For your purpose, you may actually want to go through and write a blog post based on a topic that you are passionate about or interested in. So I'm going to add this text to each section on my website or on my blog post, and this has filled out some of the content on here. So if we go and preview this in a new tab, we see that we have a blog post with some content in it. And we can now go ahead and change the category, add some photos, and make this blog post a little bit more interesting. So in addition to the visual editor, we can also edit as HTML. So to add a table of contents, let's remove this table of contents header for now. And now we are going to add a table of contents widget. All right, so once we click on this widget, we now get this table of contents section. And if we preview this in a new tab, when we click on a section, it will just simply take us to that area of the blog. All right, so as you can see, it takes us all the way to each section. It's important to have a table of contents on your website so that people can actually read on a section that they are interested in. All right, so to bring this blog to life a little bit, I'm going to search for some photos in the strength training category, and we can add a couple of these photos to our blog. So I like this picture here, and I'm going to click on download, and let me select a medium size photo. So 1280 by 853 should be sufficient. And I'll click download selected size. I use a website called reduceimages.com, and what this allows me to do is to decrease the size of an image before I upload it to my site. Now currently this image is only 140 kilobytes, which is not too bad. So that should be an okay size. All right, so let us click on upload image. Let's open it up. And now we have added this image to our blog post. And we can add another photo at the end of our blog. So let's go back and quickly find another. All right, and I like this photo, so I'm going to click on free download. And again, I'm going to select the medium photo size and download it. And now I can upload this photo to my media gallery and insert it into my blog. Now let's preview this blog post and see what we have. So we have our blog with our photo, table of contents, each section, and our conclusion with our photo. All right, so looking good so far. And now I can set a featured image for my blog. All right, so let me search for some photos of just some simple weights, since the title of my blog is weight training. And let's see what we can find. All right, so I like this photo and I'm going to select the medium size and download it. Now for my featured image, I'll just go ahead and upload this photo to my gallery. Or I can just simply drag it and drop it. And now let's preview this. All right, and that looks pretty good as my featured image. So I'm just going to keep that. So to publish this blog, I can just click on the publish button and we can set the visibility to either public or private. We can choose a time and date to publish. I'm just going to leave that as immediately. And we can also choose to add some tags to our post. So I'm just going to add a couple of tags here. We're going to say strength training is a tag. And let me add fitness. And I'm also going to add weight training to that. And I think that's good. And now I can click publish. All right. So I'm just going to open up this post in a new tab. And this is our current blog post with our intro, table of contents, our different sections, our conclusion, and with our photos. So congrats, we have created our first blog post from scratch. Now I'm going to change the category. I'm going to remove it from the uncategorized category, and I'm going to add a couple of categories here. So first category will be strength training, and I'm just going to add it to strength training. Let us just leave it under that category and click on update. All right, so if we click on the hyperlink again, we'll see that our category has changed to strength training. Now when we go to our blog page, this is what we will see. As we have deleted the other blogs, only one blog will be showing up on our blog page. And if we click on the yoga blog page, we can make some edits to this page. So I'm going to delete the yoga from the name of the page and from the URL slug. So now the URL will change simply to docsafit/blog. I can also change the main photo that shows up on this blog page over here on the background image section. We can remove that photo and select a new photo. All right, so I'll see if we can find something suitable on Pexels. All right, so I like this photo and I'm going to select the medium size and download it. And now I'm going to insert it onto my page as my banner photo. So let's select this photo. And we can reposition the photo a little bit. All right, so that looks a bit better. And now we can click on preview, or let's just update it and then go back to the blog page and view it. Instead of having a home page, we are going to change the home page to our blog page. To do this, we'll go to settings and reading, and we'll change our home page to blog. Right, so this is what we get if we select the blog as our home page. All right, so if we want to edit the menu and create a new menu, let me create one and call it main menu. So I'm going to create this to replace the current menu that's on our page. So I'm going to call it main menu and I'm going to select it. And now I'm going to add pages to my menu. So first I'm going to add the home page. if we now see that we have our new menu that we have created. All right, so let's add a few more pages to our menu. And before we do that, let us edit the current pages on our website. And as we did with the blog page, I am going to remove the yoga from the page title and also from the URL slug. And I'm going to just update this. I'm going to do it for the contact page also. All right, so if we go back to our menu now, we'll see that the names of the pages have changed. And I am going to select the About page and Contact page and add them to the main menu. All right, so we can always reshuffle how these menu options appear. We can drag them and drop them or position them as sub menus. So I'd like it to appear this way. So let's go back and refresh, and we see that we have the home, about, and contact pages. All right, so that is looking good. Currently, our Book Now button doesn't have any functionality, but we will be adding functionality later on in another video. All right, so I've gone ahead and added a few other blog posts. And we're going to change the home page to display our latest posts. So once we save this and go back and refresh our website, we'll see that our blog posts are now showing up on our home page. All right, so now we have a fully functional blog. Our home page still goes to the old home page, but we can fix that easily by editing the URL in our menu. All right, so let's go to Appearance and Menus, and let's expand this home page option. And currently, the original option for this menu item is set to Home. I am going to copy the URL for this home page, and I'm going to remove that home page and create a custom link. So I'm going to paste my URL here in my custom link, and I'm going to call this link text home and click add to menu, and I'll just drag it to the top and save these settings. So let's refresh our website, and now when we click on the About page and click on Home, it will now take us to our home page.